Sub legend. All right, looking at today's structure, let me just make sure this is good. Looking at today's structure, we'll kick it off with a GU. We're in a bit of an interesting spot. I'm not loving where we are. So the demand itself is a good demand. It's the decisional of our external 15-minute break. However, just understanding high time frame wise, we do have a lot of room to retrace and come down much further. Obviously, that's our 4 hour leg. That's our hourly leg just there. So we can still come much, much deeper than we have already. This demand area here, although it's a decisional, it didn't induce any liquidity. So I'm not expecting it to hold, even though we have generated a decent amount of liquidity up above. Last night, we obviously just had quite a significant sell-off just there, and we haven't got a lot of structure to work with just now. So what I'm looking for, which it looks like we're pretty close to doing at the moment, is just confirming this area as a smart money trap. So what I'm looking to see is if we can come down, take out this low here, ideally get some sort of retest. I'd like to see the inducement of retest into the mitigation of this decisional point. I'm then going to be looking for sells down through it. I don't want to buy from where we are. The demand doesn't meet my criteria. It did sweep this tiny little point here, but it's nothing of significance. Like there's your break. Yeah, it's got no value in the market. So I don't see it as having swept sufficient liquidity to validate it, especially given where we're positioned. So just looking for it to come down and take out that low. For me, buyers don't make sense until we at least take out this point. Once we take that, we're mitigating more of this area here, which did sweep some liquidity, which is a supply to demand area. So I'm happy to buy off the take of this point. But until then, I just want to sell it. I don't want to do anything inside of this leg. This demand to me just doesn't mean anything. Um, yeah, I wouldn't look to buy from this demand until potentially, we start to get something like that. And then I'd look to buy that move there. I would need good bullish structure to build up and some inducement low and breaks high. At the moment, we're just following bearish order flow. So yeah, not looking to do anything other than just look to sell through this point. EU, it's looking like this supply is going to hold. It's looking like this supply is going to hold. And it very well can. It's the supply itself is valid, right? So it took liquidity. It is a bit of the decisional of that break. So like, we can mark it out as a valid IFC. The only reason that we obviously weren't looking for it to hold is this momentum here. However, understanding that it did sweep liquidity, and we did just miss the mitigation of that daily area here and the 4 hour area down the bottom there as well. It does make sense to still come down to it. And the DXY is looking like buys at the moment. So of course that'll make this EU sell off. What I'm looking for though, I'm going to need a good inducement. So we've just broken this low here, so we've got this range here internally. What I'm looking to do is ideally we can come up, sweep these highs here. I'm then happy to sell straight off of that from there. That'll give me a good inducement. It's going to sweep some of this liquidity we've got built up here as well. So that'll be really nice. If we come down into this point and then we were to induce up something like this, I'd then be open to selling that from there as well. It just depends on which way it wants to push first. That alert really should be there. So we'll see which way that wants to go, but at this stage, I'm leaning towards selling it. Buyers are not looking like they've got control of this thing at all, and it is looking like that range is going to hold. It's just going to be a bit of a funky range. What I think is going to happen is we're going to sell off. We're going to push through this point here, mitigate that daily. We're probably going to have more liquidity generated, something like that, or obviously more higher time frame, and then we'll get a big run up from there. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. That's what it's looking like at this stage. So we'll just monitor it. To give you the context of what I'm talking about with the DXY, again, that was that same point that we weren't expecting to hold, given the fact that we didn't have any liquidity down into it, and this was looking like it was going to be retest. However, it's now more so looking like that's going to be a break. We've had a really good inducement into the mitigation, and we've since been obviously breaking bullish from there, stepping up. We induced a decisional yesterday of that first internal break, but we've just done nothing. We've just pushed through it. come into this area here, and now it's looking like we're going to confirm that point as a smart money trap as well. So yeah, DXY is looking like it's going to push through it. Ideally, I'd like to see the DXY come down a bit further, but if we actually read into what it's doing just now, we've got a decisional area here, and we're building internal retest. We've got a little bit of retest just here, but now we're starting to create some bullish order flow here, generating that liquidity. If we come down, sweep that, mitigate this, I wouldn't be surprised to see a push up from there. Um, so yeah, it's not looking like it's going to hold. Just understanding this point here did nothing other than fail to break our extreme but induce our decisional. So it's looking like buyers. AU's in a good spot. I just don't know how I'm going to be able to do anything with it. It's induced the retest of our external 15-minute break, which was also the decisional of our hourly. Obviously, very bearish down into it. We haven't come in to mitigate anything. We've got a 30-minute extreme point down here that we can come into, which would be great. We are reacting out of this little point now, which is probably like a 5-minute point, which shouldn't hold given context. Yeah, little 5-minute point. We don't even really have a break. Well, you only get internal. That's kind of your external 1-minute range, to be honest. Yeah, fuck. We've had no inducement low and break high. So what I'd like to say, ideally, I'd love for it to come all the way down there. And then I'll work inside of here, try and get something like that. And then we can run up from there, target that liquidity. Um, it looks like it's going to get down there as well. But yeah, I want to buy AU. My only concern with buying AU is lack of targets. But we've had a really, really good inducement today. It's just the lack of targets and how bearish price is right now. It's making it a little bit tricky to do anything with it. Um, but I do like it, to be honest. It's yeah, we've got good liquidity up here. It's just the Asia run today hasn't given us much to work with, but we will see. Otherwise, we can of course come all the way down. That would be a little 5-minute break. So if we did push up, do something like this, we can work with that, and something in here for buyers as well. So just gonna have a bit of patience today. Gonna have to. Cool. Now looking at news, what have we got today? Thursday. Just orange folder, so nothing to be concerned about there. So easy as guys, we'll wrap this outlook up there. See what price wants to do. Like I said, we're not in a bad spot. We just need price to just show us where it wants to go, and just be patient while we're waiting for the structure to develop. Let's allow it to show us what it wants to do. I like yeah, I like what AU where AU is. So yeah, we'll see. Obviously the DXY pushing up helps EU and GU for their selling outlooks. So yeah, see what it wants to do and we'll go from there.